All right, here we go again. I will shut off very quickly if Shoveler or Russ wants to cast this, but I figure we want someone to be on it, and I haven't seen either of their streams pop up. So here we go. Um, Same deal as last night. Assuming that Russ or Shoveler don't want to take over as the primary cast, if someone wants to hop in and co-cast, y'all can let me know. But I also haven't told anybody this is up, so no one heard that. Yay! We're we stream things here. Let's edit this. I believe it is low eco, high tempo. I believe they are Tirapalos. Do that. Alright, we're posting links everywhere, and by everywhere I mean one in Discord and one in Steam. All right. Went ahead and popped over to the map draft. They've already done this, and I'm sure they're going to be getting into the game soon. So we're going to try to go through this pretty quickly. Um, just a little bit of background first. Initially, it looked like Falopa was going to need to pull in a sub for Simon Bolivar, but he made it back in time. And then for another bit, we were wondering if Sushi was going to make it back, but he did. So we ended up with the set as we originally thought it was going to happen, which is great. Um, in terms of the picks and bans here, first ban was Falopa and Bolivar. They banned Black Forest. VK and Sushi banned Pilgrims. Uh, Hideout the pick from Age of Falopa and Bolivar. Low Eco High Tempo picked Hyper Random Nomad. Mega Random was the admin pick. So no closed maps here. Hideout semi-closed, but you knock down the Palisades fast. Let's click over to the Civ draft real quick. That should be in here. Change the mic around. Civ draft, visit site. Oh, they're still in the middle of this. Good, good, good. All right, so I'm not quite as behind as I initially thought I was. Um, we'll. They're in kind of the last banning phase right now. Um, I guess we'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and start with the bands this time. Sorry, I change this around every single time, but I'll start with the bands and then go through the picks. So from uh, from Tirapalos, that's Falopa and Bolivar. In order, we have bans on Italians, Malay, Gurjaras, Khmer, and Romans. Italians, to get them off of the Nomad maps, would be my guess. Nomad and Mega Random. Malay, because VK and Sushi have done elephant rushes with Malay on Hideout, would be my guess. Gurjara's probably similar thing, keeping an eye on kind of the strat that Shoveler and Fire Frog did the other day, not wanting to deal with the tankier Ellies. And I did learn that it's extra elephant armor that makes Gurjaras good. So at that strat, so that was good to learn. Khmer all around solid Civ removes the ability to cut, even though Black Forest isn't in this pool. Technically, you could cut through Hideout too. Um, Romans, you don't want to deal with the tanky infantry, understandable. For the bans on Luiko High Tempo, VK and Sushi's side. First ban was Magyars. That's kind of interesting to me. Like Magyars is a solid pick. A lot of teams have picked it. So I don't know. I don't have anything coming to mind that tells me why they would want to get rid of Magyar specifically, but they did. They also got rid of Bulgarians, uh, presumably just to not have to deal with the infantry and Conics and Krepos. Got rid of Spanish. Say, it's the counterpart to the Gurjaras. You don't want to deal with Conks. Banned Byzantines, just kind of the overall counter civ, and then Burgundians. I don't know about a Burgundians ban here. Burgundians, it's hard to like. Yes, they have better eco, but it's hard to get their eco going if they're not on a closed map. Or yeah, it's hard to get their eco going on a more open map. While it's possible that Mega Random will generate with a more closed character, I don't know. I don't know about getting rid of Burgundians, but at the end of the day, it's a ban, not a pick. It doesn't matter. VK got his Ketons, so that'll most likely come out on Hideout again. He really likes to go for the double forging scouts, and it's pretty easy to knock down palisades with those. We saw him use those to pretty good effect against Winter Zeus when they played their set. Other picks for them, they've got Vietnamese, good Archer Civ that's also anti-Archer. Pretty much all things ranged. Don't really like playing Vietnamese. Rattans are tanky, Imp Skirms are tanky. Things don't have a good time into Vietnamese if they shoot arrows. They got Mongols, good solid all-round civ. Probably going to come out on Mega Random or possibly Hyper Random Nomad. We have got Portuguese, another good all-rounder civ, a little bit more archer focused, but they've also got the organ guns and the Fetorias. I believe it was Sushi who used these to great effect in the set against Winter Zeus. We've got Armenians. I mean, I've talked about them before, but feudal longswords are good if you can get those out, although they delay your castle a fair bit, your castle age. You also have the composite bowmen, the warrior priests. Got Poles. Poles, I would group similarly to Burgundians, honestly. Poles are better on closed maps. You can play them on open maps. Full works are good, but full works also, by virtue of, wanting to use their bonuses, they make your farming eco more exposed. Because if you put TCs around your if you put farms around your TC, if you put TCs around your farms, if you put farms around your TC as poles, you're wasting the full work bonus. But then we've also got Hindustanis. Hindustanis, a good all-round civ. Gulams, Imperial Camels, Chautauqua Hand Cannoneers, some sort of TC and eco bonus, I think. For Falopa and Bolivar, we've got Persians as first pick. Solid all-around Cav booming civ. Faster working TC, I think. Ethiopians for the fast-firing archers and siege engines, good siege engines. Saracens, they're kind of known as the market abusive, but they also have the tankiest camels. Used to be zealotry. I think it's now just a bonus. They've got Bimaristan, which is the increased monk healing as well. Mamluks are good against all things. Well, they're good against melee cav. Cav archers still deal with Mamluks pretty well because of the range advantage. Georgians, that's an interesting pick. I think Georgians are a really cool civ, but my own experience with them is that they're awkward early game, like in feudal age specifically. The free mule card is really nice for getting your eco off the ground in Dark Age, for giving yourself a little bit of a boost there. But people expect scouts because Georgians have the self-healing cavalry. Um, so you can, choose to go into something that isn't scouts, man-at-arms archers, or straight double range archers. Um, it just makes your transitions a little bit more awkward later. Like you can use cav archers as them late game. They also heal up, but they're not fully upgraded. Manaspa are great, but they need castles. Just you know, I don't know. I've just found them awkward at my elo. You got Huns, classic Huns. Don't need to build houses. Get Tarkans. Get cheap CA. That's pretty much it. We've got Tupi, so I imagine that's going to be for Blackwood Archers. That's the main thing I know about that civ. Um, they're very strong. I believe they train two at a time. Like they're very frail, um, but their arrows, once they research the unique tech, also get the poison damage, and that can even mess up skirmishers. Um, yeah, Tupi are Blackwood Archers are scary. I believe Tupi are also the civ that get resources back when units die, so their meat grinder feeds itself a little bit. Last civ for Falopa and Bolivar is Dravidians. Um, Good infantry archer civ, really weak cav. They've got Arumis, but Arumis die to anything that shoots projectiles. Um, Dravidians, if you get to a massive mass of elephant archers, they're pretty awesome. Let me boot up Age, and we'll see if they are into the game. Gonna give myself a breather there. That was a lot of talking. I wonder if my voice would be completely shot if we'd done that whole set last night. Regardless, I've got the capture still on the Civ draft for now, but I'm looking for the game in Age. I see it. Perfect. I see it in the lobby browser, so I don't think they've launched it yet. Oh, nope, I see it in the spec browser too. All right, let me switch that over on OBS. Goodbye to this one, hello to this one. It is Mega Random Game 1. Spectate with Capture Age. And off we go. Okay, we've got the full spec delay to deal with here. So I guess we'll take Civ guesses here. I'm gonna open with I'm not sure for Mega Random here. Possibly Georgians for Mega Random. Ethiopians would be fine. Saracens would do well enough. Really, I think that bump up mic gain. Sorry, Russ was messaging me, and me being such a noob, I honestly don't know what that means. Yeah, sorry, noobcaster. Okay, so I guess I was coming through a little quiet. I guess for now, that's weird. Yeah, haven't really changed anything with regard to the mics. I was trying to have it a little bit further away from my mouth, but it wasn't super different from how I had it yesterday. Um, Again, that's to try to catch fewer breaths and that sort of thing, but that doesn't help if you can't hear me at all. Oh, yes. Hello to chat. Hi, Chico. Oh, and hi, Haria as well, and Russ. Thank you guys for watching. Spec delays there. I moved the mic a little bit closer. We'll see if that helps a bit. But for now, the spec delay has hit 0. We should be into the game shortly. I did not finish talking about the civs here, but we'll just see what they picked. All right. Oh, this is a Budapest generation of sorts. A Budapest a Budapest Acropolis type generation. All right, so this is going to be game 1 between low eco high tempo, that being Sushiero in the red and VK in the yellow. Sushi is playing as the Vietnamese, and VK is playing as the Mongols. Then the other side, we've got Tirapalos. That's going to be Simon Bolivar and Age of Falopa. Simon is playing as the Tupi, and Falopa is playing as the Huns. As I started to mention, this is basically a combined Budapest and Acropolis generation. Every player has started with 2 TCs, and every TC is up on a raised bit of land, which has unbuildable terrain on the sides. So they'll be able to wall this little slope that goes down into the middle, but they won't be able to wall the backs of their base. That's going to mean they're going to need to wall in their wood lines, and those will be more vulnerable than normal. There's also a lot of a lot of deer. These are ibex, I think, but a lot of deer. Are there any boars? No, looks like it's all deer. I'm not seeing any boars on this map. Kind of unfortunate for VK's Mongols. But yeah, Bolivar is just milling, settlementing the Ibexes over by his more southern TC. Also, everybody's TCs spawned next to one another. There are times with these generations that they can spawn separately, so it's probably, I mean, this is gonna be awkward for them. When you're not expecting 2 TCs at the start, things things are definitely a bit awkward. And actually, I think we're really seeing that already. Bolivar and Falopa already are at 19 and 18 bills. Sushi and VK are only at 14 and 16. So there might be a pretty significant eco advantage for Tirapalos starting here, which credit to Falopa for that. I mean, credit to both of them, but I'm going to credit Falopa a little bit more because he is the lower elo of that team. Right now it's saying 1102. I also saw like a 1030 something here recently. It kind of fluctuates, of course, as we all do. But regardless, him keeping up on this eco with Simon is pretty impressive. Not to take away from Simon himself. Really, these teams are pretty well matched, all things considered. I don't really think Sushi is actually 900. I think his skill is a little bit more toward the 1000, 1050 range. So, VK's got a very slight elo advantage over Simon. Falopa's got, he's got an elo advantage over Sushi, but I don't necessarily think that the skill gap is massive there. But I will also say that I know the least about Tirapalos of all the teams in the tournament. I don't know if I've actually casted them yet, and I think I've seen them play one set that Shoveler or Russ might have casted. Interesting strategy from Sushi. He's just shooting all of his Ibex so they don't run away. and then putting a mill down. He's going to lose a lot of food to decay doing that, but it is going to prevent his vills from having to take long trips. So we do have 30 vills, 31 apiece for both Falopa and Simone, and no one has clicked to Feudal Age yet. And speak of the devil, VK went ahead and clicked up to Feudal at 29 vills. The Ibexes have been taken here. There's a bunch more of them over here. That is a lot of hunt. Kind of interesting how that generated. These plateaus are also very stone and gold heavy. Looking like VK's here, 5 tile gold and 4 and another 4, and then a 5 stone and a 6 stone. Looks like that's the same for every single plateau. So protecting those is kind of going to be kind of a big deal. But they're also difficult to defend because of the unbuildable terrain. And the wood lines are all along the back here. They're very even for the most part. Okay, so yeah, clicks up to Feudal for both VK and Sushi first by quite a bit. 40 vills apiece for Simone and Falopa now. That is a ton for Dark Age. 2 TCs or not, in my opinion. Is VK going to make military with this earlier Feudal? Looks like it might be scouts. He's putting up stable. He is Mongol, so that makes sense. Then we'll see if Sushi has similar ideas. I'm going to take a glance at Tupi real quick, because I know about Blackwood Archers, but that's really about it. Okay, so they also get the Ibirapema warriors. What? Oh, I don't know the first thing about Ibirapema warriors. I apologize. There's the Curare for the poison damage for the Blackwood Archers and normal archer line, as well as fortifications. They also, okay, Champies and Slingers attack faster. That's pretty nifty. I mean, South American Civ with the tech tree to match. Champies, well, I mean, it's an archer Civ. But I guess they also have decent champions too. Oh, and their upgrades cost less food. Okay. And garrison settlements. That is good to know. Ibirapema, powerful frontal area attack. Wonder if they hit multiple units? Maybe that's it. Regardless, scouts are out from VK. They're going to hunt down some of these vills that were hunting for Simone, but using that 2P bonus to garrison in the settlement here. Basically, kind of like Khmer, except settlements are a little bit, you have fewer of them. He's going to head over to the other base of Simone. Probably going to be the same thing if he hits this wood line. This Ville is pretty exposed. That could potentially die, especially because he's going to take some downhill hits here. So that is a good pick for VK. Good quick wall there from Simone. Yeah, that was very well done. He got that up very quickly indeed. Scouts continuing to come out for VK. Meanwhile, Falopa has clicked up to Castle Age and is getting the feudal eco upgrades. This gold is protected by the TC, so no more damage available for VK there. Looks like he's just going to head over to Falopa. We'll see if he's able to do... Oh, maybe not. Looks like he might look at swinging back around toward this woodline again. Might also be focusing on eco at the moment. Meanwhile, for Sushi, looks like a fast castle type build for him as well. Yep. Click ups for both VK and Sushi as well. Still a pretty solid villager lead for Tirapalos, Simon, and Falopa here. I do need to figure out how to change that, or even if my capture H can. But VK's in with the scouts onto Falopa's woodline. He did not get quick walls up, so potentially some damage here, although the opposite issue, you know, Simon lost that other Vil. Okay, looks like he's going to be able to get this one. Micros the scouts for it. One of those Vils got damaged pretty hard. This is tough for Falopa because that was a lot of Vils on wood that he had to retask. Gonna make getting buildings up pretty difficult. So for the moment, he's putting 27 on gold. Oh no! Almost had the walls completely down, but one didn't make it, and VK going to get a ton of damage with the scouts here. So that's the entirety of the wood eco stalled out and messed up for Falopa. Going to make making some more production buildings in Castle Age difficult. Bolivar also made it up to Castle Age. Currently just seeing Blacksmith Market for him as well. Still just got the barracks, made a couple spears. Even with losing those Vils though, Falopa still got 56, whereas Sushi and VK only have 48, now 50, but 48 apiece when I was initially looking. So the eco advantage is still in favor of Los Tirapalos. I actually don't know if there's a Los there. I apologize. The scouts are still running around. They're going to be light cav soon. He's going to get iron casting. Also a little bit of a late double bit axe, but an early heavy plow for VK. And then we've got wheelbarrow coming in for Sushi. We have got everybody up into Castle Age. Heavy on stone for Simon. Gonna get the castle up. That will enable Blackwood archers to start coming out. They are very cheap and very easy to mass. They are definitely a pain in the neck. Both of Simon and Falopa are also putting up TCs on wood. Unbeknownst, I don't know if Falopa's aware, but it probably would have been a bit better for him to try to put this over in the corner here, because this particular wood line is not very deep at this stretch of the map, and that's the same behind both his and VK's TCs there. Spearman just scouting around for Bolivar. That's okay, yep, just milling the berries. Does not appear that Sushi is currently on stone, so is not going to have any fortifications anytime soon. VK is getting up the castle, pretty similar to Simon's, but it's on kind of his more forward TC. So in theory, that'll be a little bit better for defense. Guessing that was that spearman again, just getting shot down by the TC. VK still got these light cavalry. Has also gotten chain barding, so these are going to be fully upgraded Castle Age light cav. Yeah, I don't believe. Actually, sorry, they might. I think they still need bloodlines. I believe Mongols still get bloodlines, and then they also have the bonus HP on top of it. Cavalry, bloodlines, yeah. So still need bloodlines, and actually it looks like husbandry too. But they've got the armor, they've got the attack. We've got some cav archers coming out for Falopa. He has Huns, that makes sense. Any other military? Oh, and actually Falopa's sending those CA over into this TC for VK. The TC will defend these Vils pretty well, but it doesn't look like VK's noticed yet, so he might lose a few Vils here. Wonder if he's focusing on micro. We also have some Blackwood archers coming out. As I mentioned earlier, they are frail. They've only got 20 HP apiece, but they have pretty solid range, 7 range, and nope, but they're about to get mangonelled. Goodbye! Yep, frail indeed. But they're fast, and they do a lot of damage. Oh, Sushi... Man, I need to stop making bold claims. I say, he's not going to have a fortification soon. I come over here and there's Rattan archers, which you can only get from a castle. This is good damage onto Philoppa from Sushi. He's also getting leather archer armor, so these are already pretty tanky against arrows. They're going to get even tankier. They'll be up to 6 pierce armor. Siege Workshop up here for Simone. The Light Cav have come back. The Mangonels are still here. Yeah. You've always got to watch yourself with you've got to watch yourself into Mangonels with any with any archer unit, but it's even more important with Blackwoods because they have so little HP. See, like, that was a good split, and he is going to take out a Mangonel, but even with the pretty good split, he still lost 2 units to it, whereas maybe crossbows might not have died there. Ford University from DK. We did get some skirms out here for Philoppa. They're not going to do all that great into the Rattans. Like, it's kind of 2 rocks bashing themselves against each other. Okay, they still do okay. But the skirms don't have full armor. The Rattans do. And Mangonels of his own for Sushi there. The Blackwoods are coming back forward. The Siege Workshop was not taken down. Mangonel's about to come out for Bolivar as well. Sushi does have a couple Rattans harassing back here. But, yep, Mangonel coming out. What is he going to do with these vills? Does he have enough stone for a castle? He does not. Is he going to tower, maybe? Or is he going to put up production buildings? Regardless, split. Yeah, kind of both a split and a staggered formation there for the skirms. This is bold for Philoppa. Wow, great micro. Okay, can he keep doing this? Takes a little bit of damage from that shot, but very well done from Philoppa there. And then takes a shot onto the Cav archers instead, which that's just how it goes. Bring out a Scorpion, and there's a good hit with the Mangonel. These vills have just been designated Mangonel repair duty. Scorpion comes out. That'll start messing with the skirms and CA there. Knight out from DK, now hammering on this Siege Workshop. Fort settlement on this gold. And Sushi's going to try to drop a castle. Don't like that castle. Oh, just kidding. Philoppa's going to beat him to the punch. He is not going to be able to put that down. He's going to put it there instead. Still don't like it because you've got skirmishers already right here. And now you're having to try to fire over your own villagers with the Mangonel, which means you might hit your own villagers. Or you can just let the skirms harass, I suppose. Lots of vills killed by this Mangonel, and Sushi actually gets it up first. Hard commit there. This is still going to go up, I think, for Philoppa. Yeah, he's going to send enough vills to make it happen. Now this is a petard race. Meanwhile, the Blackwood archers are heavy into the back of VK's base. They are... yeah, okay. Not a bad attack ground there. We've also got Mangadai here. So this is actually not a bad fight for the Blackwoods. Good job getting up to the elevation. Okay. The Mangadai actually cleared that pretty well. I think VK did... I don't know if he was using stop micro or if he just let them patrol in. But regardless, the Mangadai definitely cleared that up pretty well. We do have petards coming out. Okay, so Sushi is the one who knows about petards. Philoppa is not making petards. Is he making rams anywhere? I don't see a siege workshop for him. So advantage Sushi over here at the moment. VK is not going to deny this castle, but is going to make things a little difficult for Simone. The light cav are going up there, and they might take a vill or two. But this will be a good castle, defends the stone. Also makes it harder to get to this gold. Are the petards out yet? We got 2 in the castle for now. We've got a ram from Sushi. We've got another siege workshop being put up. The siege workshop still stands. Got another Mangonel in there. Looking at eco count. Oh, sorry. Goodness gracious. So Simone is up to imp. That's going to be a big deal. VK's not been able to really grow his eco as much. 136 villagers for Simone, only 80 for VK, who also just clicked up himself. So right now, I would say that Sushi is winning his side, but that Simone is winning his side. VK does have a good mass of Mangadai, and they appear to have full Castle Age upgrades, but we've got Kachikes, I believe is the pronunciation of that, and especially if Simone or Falopa can correct me on that later, please do. But we've also got Chemistry coming in. Don't think he's got Elite Blackwoods yet, but yeah, the massive Blackwoods is here. Bracer's not, or did 2P even get Bracer? Yes, they do. That also means Trebs, so this castle is going to potentially be in trouble here. The Blackwoods took a lot of Castle Fire, though. Also, everybody in this game has gotten my favorite tech, Ballistics, so thank you. A lot of Rams here from Sushi. Yeah, these buildings are going to stand no chance, and Falopa's down a TC. Has gone up to 4 TCs behind his other base, though. But these are going to be some pretty good resources that Sushi now has access to. The Mangadai are taking some pot shots here. Okay, so these Trebs are going to go down. Yep, Trebs are going to go down to the Mangadai, or at least one of them is. There might not actually be enough Mangadai now. Oh, good micro. Very well microed from VK. Takes down the second Treb. Third one's coming out. They are going to take some damage from the Blackwoods, who themselves have Ballistics, and they are now 8 damage a shot, and they have a pretty fast fire rate. VK's up to Imp. Sushi has clicked up to Imp. Is going to be there in a minute and a half. We've got Forging and some Cav upgrades coming in for Falopa. So, yep, made a couple stables. He's probably going to look to go into Light Cav. Yep, has a fair few Light Cav back there. Castle's getting Trebbed again. Manganai Mass is still pretty small. Bracer's coming in for VK, but not quite the last Archer Armor or like Parthian Tactics yet. Also getting Blast Furnace. Does he still have Raiders somewhere? I do wonder kind of what they're saying in game chat right now. I don't know if VK is maybe telling Sushi that he might need to come over. Because Rat Hands would actually do pretty well into Blackwoods, at least until the other unique tech comes in. But there's also the last armor for those. Sushi getting Chatras, so that's going to be tankier War Elephants, but I don't see any stables for him. I wonder if he meant to click Paper Money. Yeah, I don't know. That might have been a misclick. Falopa's up to Imp, is 3 minutes away. Yeah, we'll just... like, Sushi could theoretically just roll this. Meanwhile, this castle is staying up for now, but it's going to go down very soon. Falopa is up to 5 Trebs. Those are going to eat things for lunch. There is another castle here, but the Blackwoods are going to feast now. They are not elite quite yet, but they're effective all the same right now. The Mangadai still lacking Parthian, still lacking Ring Archer Armor, still not elite. So that's, yeah. I think VK is going to do the same thing that Falopa did and probably just kind of let this forward base fall. Maybe not. He's going to send in his entire army. I don't think this is going to go well. That's a lot of Blackwoods. And there's not a massive Mangadai here. But they are enough to munch on some Trebs. He's going to take down 2 of them. But then all of his melee Cav died, and he even lost a Mangadai to a Cav to a Treb shot there. He's teching Cavalier. And there's Curare coming in. So these Blackwoods are about to do poison damage. That's going to be difficult. Yep, watch this. Okay, so this knight, I guess, didn't get hit by too many of them, but you can see the negative regen rate there caused by the Blackwoods. The other plateau is now under threat for VK. He's getting Onager. But on the other side, Sushi has gone in with now capped rams and is going to try to bust down this TC for Falopa. And the Battle Elephants are coming in. They've currently got Chatras, but no other upgrades, so they are thick. They are chonkers. They've got 350 HP, but they've got no armor, but that's coming in soon. Blackwood's still here. They even take out Cavalier pretty well. Yeah, VK's missing some armor, and we've also got Elite Champy and Elite Blackwood from Simone. I am starting to think that this is going to go to Tirapalos, just because, like, even though we've got one player from each team winning their side, in terms of the higher elo players, the ones that like Simone is the one that won between him and VK. And VK's having to flee with his entire eco. So even if Sushi kills... Well, the thing is, Sushi is now just going to start losing his castles because the army's here. Onager coming! But those Blackwoods have a lot of range now. Ooh, boom! Boom! That was a hero Onager. Now, Simone's going to be able to get more Blackwoods easily enough. They train up pretty quickly, to my knowledge. But that was very well done, and we've got another Onager out. I wonder... Yeah, VK's got no castles, so we can't get drill. One of Sushi's gone down. Sushi is up to elite Rattans. Boom! All right. Wow, those are... That's why you can never count them out. Again, I think the Blackwoods are going to come in. Sorry, we've got Champies out. Those Champies have 8 Pierce armor. Second castle goes down for Sushi, but these Trebs are now all going to go down. And Falopa is all but dead at this point. The Battle Elephants and the Rams and some Imp Skirms have completely destroyed his base. He did keep 96 Vils, though. So both the players that lost their sides, Falopa and VK, have fled behind their teammates' base. Yeah, I still lean Tirapalos to win this, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I just think that Blackwood mass and the Champies are going to cause some issues. We do have Elite Battle Elephant and Iron Casting and Siege Engineers coming in for Sushi. He's done very well getting his upgrades this game. He's also got a good castle up here, although we do have 3 more Trebs out for Simone, make that 4. Simone does not trickle Treb. Ooh, the Blackwoods ran into the castle. They are going to not love their lives here. They're just going to all get shot down as they run by. They were probably looking for raids. Champies into the Battle Elephants. Yeah, you've got enough of us around. You can kill them, even though technically Elephants should really kind of counter Champies. These are not fighting, though. Some weird pathing there. But yeah, like, Elephants are actually very good into Champies. Champies have great Pierce armor, but not great melee armor. VK's mass of Mangudai is out here in the middle, is going to come and try to assist with this fight. Sushi will need the assistance here, because Rattans are good, but again, Champies are good into archer units. VK is just going to continue the strat of using the Mangudai to snipe the Trebs, while his melee attackers distract the kind of screening force, the Champies, from Simone. So this TC stayed up for Falopa. I don't know if that's good or bad for him, because this is very easily raidable in the future, but it also kind of leaves him a little bit of a pocket. This castle went down for Sushi. He's got another one coming up. That's not very many Vils. Hopefully he's able to hold this. But we've also got Halbs coming out for Simone. Those are going to wreck these Battle Elephants, and also the Cavalier. You need a good massive Mangadai or Rattans to deal with those. Phew, goodness. These guys are playing very, very well. Yeah, this is not going to be a great engagement for these elephants. These Halps do a lot of damage, regardless of how tanky and high HP these battle elephants are. We do have chemistry coming in for Sushi as well, so that's going to be fully upgraded elite Rattans. You can kind of see the poison damage, how fast that ticks here. They don't take, like, Blackwoods do 1 damage a shot to Rattans. So that's a decent counter, but the poison damage makes it so that it you know, it's not actually 1 per. Couple light cav raiding over here for VK. I will say that Simone hasn't gotten any units across the map to attack VK and Sushi at their bases recently. He's been trying to take down these fort castles. Sushi also got some building HP upgrades. Looks like just hoardings. But that is nifty when you got Trebs firing. He's going to need to run his Rattans forward, or I guess he's just going to give up this castle. There's plenty of stone on the map. They can definitely keep making castles. And he's making a bunch more stables too. Oh, that was unfortunate. He got a bombard cannon out just in time for it to get absolutely destroyed by the Champies. Man, these things... God, this is a crazy comp from 2B. Another bombard cannon out. Are these guys dying to poison? I mean, he's even got some Arbalest out as well, or Arbalesters, as they're called in Definitive. Probably going to look to kill... Yep, those are going to be some dead bombards. Do they take the poison damage? They're siege weapons. No, they're going to die regardless. But he's just rolling through with Trebs. It's kind of interesting. These are about to have battle elephants right on their face, but also a lot of bombard cannons lost here for Sushi. On this side, Simone got the castle up in the middle here. These are still not elite Mangadai. And they also... They still don't have the last armor. Not great when they're getting shot by castles. Also, these the castles themselves cause poison damage now. So do these arbs. You can actually see it in the projectile animations. I think they're a little bit different from normal chemistry arrows. Sushi is stalled out here. Simone has pushed this back, and we've also got Philoppa bringing some halbs. Pretty much everything that they are making except Rattan archers is mounted. So yeah, halbs are going to be an issue, and they've got champies for the archers. Fully upgraded Mangadai, elite Mangadai, once he gets to that, will still be able to do 4 damage a shot to the champies. But, like, I don't know if VK and Sushi have got an answer to this. Maybe the answer is to continue raiding. The eco count is actually in favor of low eco high tempo now. But, yeah, I mean, you can't really send anything into this mass right now. And Simone just keeps pumping out Trebs. He is making so many Trebs. How can he afford these Trebs? I mean, I guess there's just that much gold on this map. Where is he taking gold at the moment? I don't know. So Sushi's pop-capped. He's also teched into Arbalest. I guess that's just because he's losing his castles too quickly and can't replenish them. But he's also got 1898 stone. We've got some arbs out here for Simone. He was looking for some raids. He's gonna lose them, but at least gets a not awful fight. These Trebs are a problem. Yeah, I feel like even though there are halberdiers here, you've got to trust that your Rattans can mess with those, or can attack those, and you got to send the elephants in. They've got to attack the trebs. There you go. All right, one treb down. I think he might lose all of these, but that was also another TC and another castle down for Sushi. He has lost a lot. This initial push has kind of been completely lost here. We also have some skirms out. They're basically castle age skirms for Philoppa, but even those can still do damage. These are still not fully upgraded Mangudai. They are elite, but they still don't have the last armor or Parthian tactics. Elephants munching on the champies. Have anything happen yet? Simone's noticed the Vills mining gold here, and wow, those elite champy, those are meaty thwacks. Sorry if that's a little bit off color, but like, you know, the earlier champies have sounds kind of like a conic, where it's more of a bonk. That's a whack sound. I've been saying this about all the games I've casted recently, but this is a banger. What a great game. Massive props to Sushiero in this game. He's really, I mean, like, props to everybody, but looking strictly at the elo, you would have thought, oh, you know, Simone versus VK is going to be pretty close, and Philoppa's going to roll Sushi. And the exact opposite happened. Philoppa's still stuck at only 6,400 score, is stuck really making trash units. VK's got a treb out taking this middle castle from Simone. A lot of units just passing, but there's also a lot of champies here. I imagine that if he masses those and sends them in, he'll be able to take this treb out. We've got a sizable quantity of Mangudai here. 23's pretty good, but that's still going to struggle against how tanky to arrows these champi are. Counter treb out from Simone. Yep, that treb's going to die. Both of these trebs are going to die. This has enabled Sushi to start pushing back on this side, though. But we've got another castle up for Simone on the plateau there from that was originally Philoppa's. These trebs went too far forward. They're going to die to the elite Mangudai. I think this Champi mass is probably going to get taken out by these Mangudai now. But, like, that is still some impressive Pierce armor. Still, elite Mangudai will be the match. You know, like, even though these are tanky, elite Mangudai can still do it. 12 Pierce damage is a lot of Pierce damage. Skirms, though, still cause Mangudai issues. They just kill them quickly. And like, Sushi is maintaining max pop. Simone is pretty close. Neither Philoppa nor VK have been able to get back up to max pop after they lost their sides, really. I mean, continuing to add to this massive Mangudai is absolutely going to be helpful. I think he feels like he's got the last armor upgrade, though, and he does not. He's going to try to put up a castle here. I don't know if this is going to go up. Weird pathing for the champies, but they can come over and rinse these Rattans. Another treb down. And, okay, he's not going to send under the castle fire for that long. This castle foundation has still not begun to build, which honestly might be a good thing for VK, because if a villager had gotten a single tap on that, the champies might have been able to destroy it. As it stands, though, the champies are getting taken down by the Mangudai, back down to 33 as the Mangudai number, 36 in total, 8 being trained. We've got a ton of ARBs coming out for Sushi. He's also got 9 bombard cannons pushing over here. Man, what a game. We have got next to no military for Philoppa, though. That's going to definitely be the difference maker in this game. Like, Simone has been holding this alone. Not completely alone. Obviously, we saw those skirms from Philoppa that did some damage to the Mangudai. Also, they just kind of pathed in to the Champies and took some damage. Castle Foundation's still there. That's 650 stone. Now, they've all got a ton of stone except for Philoppa. So, I suppose it's not as big a deal as it would be on a map with less stone. And the GG is called. Philoppa taps out, and that is going to be a Game 1 win for Loico High Tempo. Against my prediction, I really thought that that Simone was going to push that home with that Blackwood Mass. Those onagers were clutch for VK. Let's have a glance at the statistics. Very close score there. Sushi taking top score in that game. Well done. 735 to 293 was his KD. That's quite impressive. Lots of raisings. Got that massive bombard cannons out that I just saw at the end. Bolivar, Simone had the greater economy overall. And I mean, it showed with how many units he was streaming out there. 9 castles for Sushi, had 153 vills. Man, that was quite the game, and that was a great mega random generation. The Budapest style map, but also a bit of Acropolis and arena type woodlines as well. Gonna just take a glance. I've heard. Okay, perfect. So they are going into game 2. Just wanted to make sure that we didn't have another repeat of last night where we could only get game 1 done. Let's hop back over into Age and wait for the lobby. Pretty sure they are posting it right now. Yep. All right. I am going to take the opportunity to drink a little bit of water. That was there was a lot of action in that game. That was a really fun one to cast. I am hoping for more of the same in game 2 and hopefully game 3. But for now, let's let me go grab some water. All right. We have gotten some water. Just keeping an eye out for this lobby now. I'll go ahead and swap us back over to the Civ screen here for a moment. So that was a loss for Huns, a loss for Tupi, a win for Vietnamese, a win for Mongols. So those were 2 earlier picks for Loico High Tempo and 2 late picks for Tirapalos. But yeah, I mean, we'll see whether that has an effect on the rest of the series. Believe game 2 is going to be Hideout. I believe that Hideout is what Tirapalos picked as their home map. I mean, they can choose to go hyper random nomad as well. But for hideout, I'm gonna guess maybe uh, one of Georgians, one of Georgians or Persians, paired up with either Ethiopians or Dravidians is going to be my guess. Sorry, yeah, 4 out of the 5 civs have a decent chance of getting used here. Absolutely Ketons. VK loves his Ketons on hideout. I'm going to guess Portuguese again for Sushi. He played Portuguese last time against Winter Zeus. Guess they're, I don't know. It looks like in Discord we don't quite have it ready to go yet. Maybe they needed a little bit of a break. That was a pretty long game. But yeah, I guess you could use any of these civs on hideout and make it work pretty well. Same thing over here. Like I didn't include Saracens, but Saracens do have the archers that have better building damage, which could be used to gain an early advantage on hideout as well. And the market shenanigans are good for them. Mamluks could be a Mamluks could be an option, except Ketons don't really like they make Cav in late game, but that Cav is usually Hussar and maybe Elite Step Lancer. The core of their army in late game is the Liao Daos. Um, so I don't know. If you're looking late game, I wouldn't pick Saracens if you're expecting Ketons to come out. But that's based on a very narrow portion of the matchup as well. That's not counting any of the many other things that both civs get. Oh, I think I saw it. Yes, I do. Okay. Let me switch the capture back over. And we will have game 2 shortly. But yeah, just to, well, let me look at chat for a while. Harya mentioned he will resign early if he gets 2 TC start. Yeah, same. Those are 2 TC starts are so stressful. Yeah, Chico was mentioning all that needs to happen for Blackwoods to die to Onagers and Mangonels is that just needs to touch their ankles. Like Blackwoods are really scary, especially once they get that poison upgrade. But their weakness to Mangonels, and that also includes like a severe weakness to skirms. They're meant to be cheap and frail, but high damage, glass cannons, basically. And I feel like that game demonstrated that very well. That was a mass of almost 50 Blackwoods and and they were great shots from VK. Very well microed and a little bit of unfortunate pathing there for Simone. But regardless, 2 onagers took out 50 archers, basically. Was, that was the turning point of that game, if you ask me. Because I really thought that Simone was going to push that advantage home and just roll Sushi's base, basically like complete a clockwise circuit of that map. But VK clutched it at the 11th hour and turned it into a win, which was pretty impressive. All right. Let's, well, we got another half a minute. I selfishly really want to see Simone take Georgians and play them well so I can take notes. Because I really, really want to play Georgians and be good with them, but I'm not. I'm a lot better at their counterpart, the Armenians, but like Manaspa are so cool and so strong. I just don't know how you're supposed to get to them without dying. That said, Spectale has hit 0. Should be just a tiny bit here, and then we will be getting into Game 2 between Low Eco High Tempo and Tirapalos. And here we are. Oh, there's my little capture age bug. I hate how it starts so fast. So again, it's going to be Low Eco High Tempo, VK in the yellow, playing as the Khitons, as expected, and Sushiero in the blue, and he's actually gone, I believe that's Hindustanis, yep. Okay, I thought he was going to go Portuguese like he did against Winter and Zeus, but instead went Hindustanis here. He might be thinking that they need the Gulams into the Ethiopians. Well, I don't know. Probably just for versatility. Let's just say that's for overall versatility. Him Camels, probably good against Khitons if they're going into the Cav. And Gulam's pretty good into Ethiopians, although less good than into other archer civs because Ethiopians fire faster, which means they get more damage, when they're closer. As I mentioned, the other team is going to be Tirapalos. We've got Simon Bolivar, or officially Simon Bolivar Colombia, in the purple, playing as the Ethiopians. And then we've got Falopa in the red, playing as the Persians. These are going to be, I imagine we're going to see, well, from Tirapalos, I think it's going to be kind of your meta archers and knights, crossbows and knights and Castle Age. Khitons don't get knights. So they can consider going into camels in Castle Age, or he could also just try to get into Liao Daos. Step Lancers, of course, are also a unit that Khitons get, but they, they are not going to stand up against knights, even with the double forging, I don't really think, and lack of bloodlines. Think for Sushi, it's just going to have to be adaptation, depending on what he sees out of the opponents. Hindustanis, so, they don't get Arbalest, so they're not super great going archers themselves. The hand cannoneers are great in late game, and those might be exactly what they need. Sorry, just kidding. He's on the same team as Khitons. Yeah, if Hindustanis were facing against Khitons, then hand cannoneers would be good into Liao Daos, but that is not the case. I don't know if Shiitake hand cannoneers will have a place in this game. I guess maybe if Simon's making a ton of Shotels, but that's a bit of a stretch. But yeah, if they get the Imperial Camels, they get the Gulams as the fast anti-archer infantry unit that does some pass-through damage. So, yeah, not to beat the dead horse too much there. Pretty similar starts, although a villager lead for Tirapalos at the moment. Let's see. Not by a ton. Did someone have to get Loom? Doesn't look like it. So I just happen to always be looking at the very rare times when Tirapalos were up by 2 villagers, even though there's not a ton of idle TC for anybody. These are all honestly good times, I would consider. We've got a scout war here between Simon and Sushi. Simon blinks first and takes the scout away. That was going to be a 50-50 fight. But that does interfere with Sushi's deer push a little bit, and this scout is still lurking. VK is up very quickly. That's going to be 18 pop scouts. Makes sense, Khitons. He would like to end this game early, for sure. And, ooh, this might not be good. Yeah, Simone is watching. I usually, if I'm trying to lure deer on hideout and they spawn outside my base like this, I usually just delete a piece of wall and try to do it really early, which is a bad habit in itself, but I feel like it's better than potentially losing your scout or losing a buffalo and a deer. But, you know, noob's gonna noob. Both of Tirapalos have clicked up. Falopa actually a little bit faster than Bolivar. So I'm going to guess that might be loom difference. Falopa does not have loom. Actually, okay. So oh, it's that Persian's bonus. Faster working TC, correct? Yes. Okay. I was wondering how Falopa was getting there faster, because he's not Malay, but Persians also get faster age ups. VK has got these villas ready and geared up to set down a stable as soon as this barracks completes. That was actually a little bit slow, not optimal, I say about someone who's far better than me. You know, we'll just call it like T90 syndrome. He has to talk about all these, you know, top people in the world and do the same thing, right? So anyways, the scouts will be coming out for Khitans very shortly. Falopa's going fast castle. He's putting up a market blacksmith. Are these scouts going to be able to get damage in time? Becomes the question here. Bolivar is resuming the scout battle, and Sushi's going to lose that. He took some extra damage at some point, so now Sushi is down his scout. Is able to finish taking the deer, but he's also pretty far behind a castle compared to everybody else. He did do it at 25 vils, but that's also just that Persian bonus showing itself again. Here are the scouts. They're accompanied by 2 spears. But Tirapalos are both up to castle. Wow, those were clean, fast castles from them. VK needs to get some damage fast. Would need to... Ooh, I just don't know if he's going to be able to. The double forging is coming in, but they're both going to be castle in a minute 40. He's going to try to knock down this palisade gate. I'm certain Falopa's just going to wall behind. Yep. 2 houses, and Bob's your uncle. And he's even going to throw up an extra one over on this side. VK's going to shift focus. I mean, this is going to be, like, double forging is going to come in. The palisades go down quickly with that, but 2 scouts isn't enough to get that damage. I do wonder if he maybe senses that they're up to castle and is going to try to rush up to castle himself. Is forcing Falopa to spend a lot of wood walling behind with houses here, which will make it a little tough to put production buildings up. But with the... Oh! Are these going to be here in time? I think the vills are going to make it in. I doubt VK sees this. Yeah, no. So we're going to have a defensive archery range in Falopa's base from Simone. Vills kind of sort of just passing there. Yeah, and like still pressure coming out, but no damage. The scouts are going to go over to Simone's base now. Get back to all visible. Yeah, so honestly, this is looking like a pretty good start for Tirapalos. Sushi is also up to castle, but it's going to be another minute and a half. What sort of military are we looking at? Oh, we're looking at the scouts about to break into Simone's base. That bill's not going to get there in time, I don't think. It's going to be close. Nope, it's going to go down. And VK's got a notice, and he goes. All right, you've got 7 damaged scouts in on your eco now. So what do you do as Simon Bolivar? You lose 1 vil. And VK probably needed to go home to micro. He's going to wall this out. Just going to task the vil onto it. Ethiopian free pikemen are actually very nice here. I actually think I mentioned a situation exactly like this yesterday, where if you're getting pressured by Cav and you need something quick and you get to Castle Age, that instant pikeman is pretty nice. The house did get 215 HP on it. Scout took some damage from TC fire. Looks like he's just going to scout the base here. He's probably going to try to knock this down. It is a foundation, so it'll take a lot of damage. But all Simone really needs to do is just get another Vil over, which is going to send one from gold. It's going to run into the scout, but I think even with the forging... yeah, he's going to be able to just bonk the house a couple times and prevent any more damage. So now the thought is that VK needs to get up to castle ASAP. He went ahead and made 7 spearmen. Given that we're seeing, like, I guess he's thinking he's next to the Persians player, who is going camels. That's... okay. The issue is that he doesn't know that Simone plopped down some buildings in Philoppa's base. And this might be a massive problem for him. Spearman would do fine into the camel. He can turn him pikeman and get him ready to go to counter the camels at least. But oh, Sushi's coming forward. Is Sushi gonna castle drop? Sushi's gonna castle drop. Okay, we have got ourselves a game here. Potentially even like a base trade could happen. Simone using the Ethiopian outpost bonus to great effect as well. VK is going to be up to castle in about 50 seconds. Does not have much military at home, and no military that can do anything about crossbows, much less faster firing Bodkin Ethiopian crossbows. But how about this castle drop? Simone's going to go ahead and wall behind, throw down some stone walls. I think he's going to be able to just prevent damage again. Meanwhile, the crossbows are here, and they're going to shoot down a palisade of their own. And VK is going to need to get something ready very quickly. That something is a siege workshop and another stable. We'll see if it's enough. So some spears from VK in actually denying this wall for the moment. They do have the double forging, so they do 5 damage a hit. And we've got Gulams coming out. Did they get buffed? I thought Gulams only had 8 base attack. Ooh, the micro. Oh, that Gulam pathed really badly. If this Vil can get hits down on these, he's going to be walled out. The crossbows are in. Camels also in. These have been upgraded to light cav. Iron casting coming in for the camels. I feel like you should maybe go for the armor first, but we got a rocket cart coming out. Yeah, these pasture villas are exposed. Ooh, is Philoppa going to be able to take this rocket cart? Unfortunate there that... Ooh, VK had idle berry villas over here, and one of those goes down. The Gulams are still coming out. It looks like every bit of stonewall has at least been tapped here, so there's not a out-and-out way into the base. I don't know if this is open. I feel like this might still be open over here, but isometric view, I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. So, ooh, good. We had an attack round onto the... Oh, no! So the rocket cart did more damage to its own camel than it did to the crossbows. But there goes... There's just one left. Pretty much anything can take that out. And the rocket cart will. However, we still have some camels coming out for Philoppa. VK's base is still open. They do have the outposts here. The Gulams are taking down the market, forcing some repairs out for Simone. He's also got not super efficient wood at the moment. Never refreshed his lumber camp. Is going to be able to keep this out. He's actually got a ton of wood in the bank, so he shouldn't be super worried at the moment. And we do have more crossbows and more camels. These are not pikemen yet. Yeah, ooh, this is 6 camels. And No ballistics yet, but I can't really blame him at this point. That's going to be a dead rocket cart. Oh, repairs. Good repairs. But Town Center denied by the crossbows. Market's still getting poked and jabbed and messed with. Siege Workshop coming up for Sushi. That's probably going to be some rams. This is solid pressure. I feel like Simon needs to look at a Siege Workshop at home. Because I imagine these are going to be rams, and you can garrison the Ghulams and the rams. Oh, sorry. They're Hindustanis, armored elephants. Same... So we have kind of a repeat of last game, where VK is basically losing his side. Now this time it is to a combined attack. I guess, like, Filippo isn't losing his side because they are doing the combined attack over here. But Simon is somewhat losing his. He hasn't lost it yet, but, I mean, he's still just trying to wall it out. Like, he's got enough gold to set down a Siege Workshop and get a Mangonel out here. But if more Armored Elephants come out... Oh, he's just going to wall behind... Oh, are the Ghulams going to make it in? These have full armor too. This could be GG. Simon's eco is in very, very bad shape right now. And him being the Archer Civ, playing into Ethiopians, or playing as the Ethiopians into Ghulams that have full Castle Age armor and attack as well. Yeah, he is down to 29 bills. VK stayed at 45. I think this might just be game, set, match. What a play from Sushi. I mean, what a play from, honestly, everybody in this game. But that was an impressive castle drop there. Basically, just a game-winning play. Bill's trying to repair. They're getting poked by Ghulams. There are currently no enemy units inside VK's base. And this TC is going to go down. Simon down to 10 vills. They just destroyed his entire eco. I feel like that was just too much micro. He was trying to carry the push. GG, Sushiero Smurf. I mean... I am not entirely sure what that means. Yeah, it might be a tad frustrated there, but that was just well done. Okay, actually, 980 hilo y estás lurando los ciervos fuera de empalizadas. 980 hilo and he's luring deer through palisades. So I guess he's 980, not 893. But regardless, yeah, that is a 2-0 win for low eco high tempo. Great set. A little bit more, action dense game 2. Shorter game. Game 1 was absolutely insane. Very well played from everybody in that game. But yeah, just like I said, props to Sushi. That was an amazing castle drop. All right, we'll hit the statistics, and that'll be it for this set. Well, it already is it for this set, but that'll be it for my cast. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just run into you run into an unexpected strat that you just don't have an answer for. I personally still think he would have been able to get his walls up if he'd been able to get a Siege Workshop down at home and put out Mangonels. because that would have prevented the armored elephants from hopefully making the hole for the golems. Um, but I mean, that was tough. He was trying to micro on the other side. They were trying to keep VK suppressed and prevent him from helping out his teammate. And then Sushi just you know he did get some help. There was some army from VK there that helped protect the castle foundation. But yeah, I mean, just the correct strategic play. Yeah, so that's again that's a 2-0 victory for Loico High Tempo. I'll go ahead and glance at the challenge link real quick. Yeah, let me pop on over to challenge real quick. All right, so that's gonna kick Loico High Tempo up to up to 5-1. And then Tirapalos, that is gonna be, I believe, 0-4 for them. I feel like they've just kind of been unlucky. Um, I think I don't know. Let me remind myself of some of the matches here. In Yeah, just they played some tough teams. They've played Secretary and Melly. They've played Charles and Gary. They played Blag and Comrade. Just all very solid teams. Um, and I mean, it's pretty like obviously we call it the LEL League, but everybody's pretty consistently improving. Um, well, I say that I'm gonna level with y'all and say I'm in the slump of a lifetime at the moment. Can't seem to get anything to go right. Um, but with that said, like you know, there's you got to kind of try to keep the mentality of any given set. Anybody can beat anybody, even if you are playing against, even if somehow you're playing against Secretary and Piment, and um, you're, you know, a pair of 1Ks, sometimes if you pull something completely unexpected out of your pocket, you can, you know, pull off an upset. Just how it goes sometimes. I also didn't switch my capture over before I looked at challenge, did I? Oh no, I did. Awesome. All right, but that will do it for tonight. Thank you all for watching, and all right, everybody have a good night.